Well, when I was a kid, I used to eat paint chips.
And that is why I am the way I am. And that is why he is the way he is. Just kidding!
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode. I'm Jeff.
And I'm John.
And today we are in Boston, Massachusetts at Trillium Brewing Company.
Jeff, we didn't make it to Trillium. There's a blizzard outside, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, guys, unfortunately today a huge storm came in. There is several feet of snow, so it's great weather to make snow angels and throw snowballs at your best friend, but not really to go to breweries, unfortunately.
No.
The good news is we actually visited the Trillium tasting room in Fort Point yesterday and picked up all the beautiful cans that you see here. So instead of doing a brewery review of Trillium, we decided that we would do a brewery review of Trillium in our Air BnB house.
That's right. And so we actually today have nine. We have 9 total beers that we're going to try from Trillium.
We don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but we're going to try our best.
Yes, we will do our best today.
Yeah. The fun part of today is we have all the labels out facing you guys so you can see all the beautiful beers that we got from Trillium. And on the back side, we can't see what the hell they are.
No.
So the fun part is we're just gonna randomly choose each beer that we're gonna try, get through as many as possible, let you guys know what we think, and I guess when we tap out, we tap out. So,
sounds good.
John, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's have some beer. Alright, so John, you want to go ahead and pick the first beer up?
Sure. You know, I could totally do a little eeny, meeny, miny, mo, right?
Yep.
Pick, how's it go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, I don't remember the rest of it, so I'm just going to grab this one.
Alright, and what do we have?
What we have here is Metal. Double IPA, 8.4 ABV, brewed in Massachusetts.
Alright, well, let's crack her open, shall we?
Oh, I can already smell it.
Oh my god, guys, the aroma just shoots out of this thing. My goodness. First thing I notice is it's got a little carbonation to it, especially on John's can. You can really see those bubbles going.
John's glass.
John Glass's glass.
Yeah.
Man, but it's got that hazy color that we know and love out of the New England style beers.
That it does.
Funny story, the first place we went to when we got here in Boston, I asked them about New England style IPAs and the lady kind of raised her eyebrow at me. And then I asked about hazy IPAs and she still raised her eyebrow at me. So future reference, if you come out to Boston, you're not from Boston, don't bother saying hazy or New England. They probably don't know what you mean. I don't know. We still haven't figured it out, but if I do find out, I'll let you guys know in the comments or the description what exactly they call these kind of beers out here. But enough talking, let's get into drinking. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that is fantastic. So smooth. Yeah, guys, I'm getting a lot of citrus off this. I'm getting orange, nectarine, tangerine, candied oranges.
guava.
A little bit of guava, peach. Oh my god. See, I don't know. I've only had one Trillium beer before, and it's been a while, so I can't really compare it, but all I gotta say is this for me is something that if I went to a brewery and they had a beer like this on tap, it's all I would want. I would just want to sit there and drink this all day.
What's nice about it is a double IPA, but I definitely don't get a lot of bitterness at all, which is what I would expect from a double IPA. So the bitterness is it's mellow, smooth.
Well, I think what it is that they were blending the malts and the hops really well together. I do get bitterness, but it doesn't linger.
It's not as strong as I would
well, and I mean, honestly, the citrus punch that you get on that flavor is just unreal.
It is. So, and you get it on the aroma real strong. Like when Jeff opened the can, was pouring it, you instantly smell it.
I was like, there it is. All right, so on to the next one.
On to the next one.
All right, so the next beer I'm gonna pick is going to be, you know what, let's start on the left. What's this guy? Free Rise. This is a Galaxy dry hop saison at 7.3%. Well, you guys know I love Galaxy. Saison sounds interesting. This definitely sounds like a different kind of beer for me. I'm pretty sure for you too, so.
Yes, for me as well.
I like how it's got that's a thermostat. Yeah. I gotta tell you guys, it is freezing balls outside, but in here I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt and I feel like a toasty muffin.
It is very comfortable.
Yeah. So, all right, let's crack this open, shall we? All right. Well, the first thing I notice is this is not your hazy IPA. That's right. Trillium makes more than just hazy beers. This saison though has a light bright color. It's actually quite beautiful and inviting.
It is.
It's got
a slight
farmhousey aroma, definitely. It's not funky. It's not funky at all. I don't necessarily get a ton of Galaxy off the nose. There are some aspects of tropical in there, but it's not huge. I mean, this is definitely a saison. You can tell right off the nose.
It's got an interesting smell to me personally. Not really sure what to think of it as. Yeah. I'm a little. I'm intrigued to see what it tastes like for sure. For me, I actually think it has kind of a slight funk smell to it, but that's just my nose.
Well, from what I hear, they kind of let the yeast do their thing. This wasn't a controlled fermentation. Well, it was controlled, but
they didn't control the temperature of the fermentation.
Yeah, they didn't control the temperature of the fermentation. They just let everything ferment naturally. And yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see what it tastes like. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is interesting. You get a lot of peppery notes in the flavor itself. It's got a super dry finish to it. I mean, this is definitely a beer that I would love to have with some food. Something that's really savory and, you know, kind of coats your palate. This will clean it right off. The Galaxy, I do get a little bit of bitter notes to it, but more than anything, I am getting those tropical characteristics. It's still very subtle in my opinion.
It's got a nice malt presence to it, actually.
It's floral.
Yeah.
Very floral.
I don't get, like Jeff said, I don't really get a very strong Galaxy hop presence. I mean, it's there. It's not that strong. It's a beautiful blend of malt and hops.
Man, that finish though. Boom. Clean on the tongue.
Yep. So it does not linger. It does not stay with you for long. The aroma is beautiful. It was surprising to actually drink it.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Didn't know that one was coming?
Yeah, didn't know it was coming.
John thought all I bought was hazy beers.
No, that's not true.
I will say that their board, they had, what, 14 or 15 beers?
Yep.
They had 14 or 15 beers and 10 of them were IPAs, so good on you, Trillium.
I mean, for the fact that they didn't control the temperature of the fermentation, I gotta say, like, it turned out quite well.
Oh yeah.
Not sure if I get like a lot of saison taste going on with it personally.
I do.
Yeah. So
I do. I mean, this is like a springtime beer for me. It's got flower notes to it. It's got great malt characteristics. It's got that pepperiness to it. Very yeasty. You get a lot of the yeast character off this. That slight bitterness from the Galaxy, the slight tropical notes from the Galaxy, and then it just finishes nice and clean. Like my mouth is bone dry, and what that does is it leaves me wanting to take a bite of something like pulled pork or, God, I don't know, like a nice buttery salmon or something. And
or
then
even
just
some fruit.
Or some fruit.
Would actually be kind of nice with this beer. Like a little medley of fruit.
So all I know is, I gotta say, I'm glad I didn't just go for the hazies, because this one actually is really, really good. All right, John, you ready to pick the next beer up?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Let's see. What should I go with here? I'm just gonna like go right in the middle area here and pick this one. And what we have is Pittsburgh Street. It's an IPA, 7.2 ABV. Nice.
So one of the really cool things about Trillium is they name their beers, or at least a lot of them, after streets or neighborhoods in Boston. I didn't necessarily know that initially. I thought maybe it was paying homage to something else that I didn't know about, but after we showed up in Fort Point and went to their tasting room, like, now it all makes sense.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool because on this can,
there's a little map.
Yeah, you can see a little map of Pittsburgh
And it
Street.
actually shows highlighted as Pittsburgh Street.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
All right, well,
Let's get into it.
all right, let's dig into the aroma, John, shall we?
We shall. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. That is definitely different from the first IPA we had.
Very true. Definitely a different hop.
I'm getting a lot of melon off this.
Yeah.
Like a guava, papaya. It's almost like a peppery note to this as well. It could just be that we finished that saison, but I get something.
I personally get a lot of papaya off of it more than anything. The color has a little haziness to it though, for sure.
Oh yeah, this is a hazy IPA.
Or New England IPA, or IPA.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, I guess. All right, let's do it. Cheers. Yeah, this is definitely a melony hop variety. Ooh, cantaloupe. I'm getting a lot of cantaloupe in there. Cantaloupe, papaya, guava. Very zesty finish. I get like almost like a lemon zest. Maybe a little tangerine peel. Like a sweet citrus fruit. Very finish.
I mainly get a lot of papaya, truthfully. So.
Oh yeah, no. This is definitely a melon beer.
Yeah.
Melon beer.
It's good. I would say that it's probably more bitter than the double IPA that we had earlier. So not as much of a balance of the malts on this one, which is fine.
Ready for the next one up?
I'm ready. What's next, Jeff?
What is next? 6 left. Well, you know, this can looks really lonely. I'm gonna go with this guy. And what we have here is Stilling Street. It's a double dry hopped IPA. It's 7.2%. So another street beer, another IPA, 7.2, very nice. Teetering on that double IPA realm.
Yep.
And man, double dry hopped. I wonder what it's double dry hopped with. I guess we're gonna find out.
Ready?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Oh, you're drinking already. My bad.
You gotta get through these beers, right?
Yeah. Ooh, that is very soft. That, ooh, oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's got a nice mouthfeel going on to it.
Guys. Oh.
Got some tropical notes off the smell.
Yeah, pineapple, papaya, a little bit of maybe orange zest, some kind of citrus note in there. Oh my goodness.
Maybe even a little guava maybe, or some type of melon maybe.
Yeah, see, so we were talking about Pittsburgh Street and how I mentioned, you know, I'm not a big fan of those melony beers, but if it mixes with tropical fruit, it's really good.
Yes.
Boom. This is exactly what I was talking about.
It's got a kind of a lingering, pithy taste going to it.
Yeah, right at the end, but it doesn't linger. Does it?
It's still sitting on my tongue.
Yeah, well, you know what I would say is it doesn't, it's not like that resinous. Like, it's a dry finish.
Yeah, it doesn't like
still have the
coat my tongue.
Yeah.
With like a resin over it, but it definitely is sitting there. I can still, like my taste buds are still experiencing the bitterness from which is, I mean, it's double dry hopped. So, yeah. I mean, I would expect that.
Yeah.
Right? So, but, you know, the taste, the smell, it's good.
Yeah.
So it's got a nice IPA. I mean, it's 7.3%. Not overly boozy, right on that, as Jeff said, right on that border of the double IPA. So good tropical notes and melon and all that going on.
To me, this tastes like there's some Nelson Sauvin in here. I actually brewed myself with it for a grapefruit IPA I made, and it definitely imparts that citrusy flavor. I think that's where I'm getting the citrus from. So maybe like a little bit of a grapefruit flavor. But then it kind of carries this white grape characteristic to it. Very reminiscent of like a white wine. This doesn't taste anything like a white wine. There's way more stuff in here that is making it far more complex. But man, it's fantastic. I'm gonna guess that this is Nelson Sauvin. I'm gonna guess that that's what it's double dry hopped with. I could be wrong, but that feels, now that I'm really letting those flavors sit on my palate, it really does feel like that's probably what this is.
Yeah, I think I have a harder time picking up on the variation the way Jeff does, just because overly bitter beers, it's really hard for me to get past the bitterness of them.
Yeah. That's normal.
So for me, this is actually not overly bitter, but it's a high bitter beer.
Well, and we're also like 4 beers deep now, so.
We are 4 beers deep, but still, like it's hard to get that like pithy, like I just like ate like an orange peel taste out of my mouth in order to enjoy like the rest of it. But
I'm gonna enjoy the rest of mine.
Some people really like that, and they're cool with that.
Well, with that being said, you ready to move on to the next beer?
I'm ready to move on to the next beer. All right, you ready for the next one?
Hey man, we're on a roll. I think it's, is it your turn or my turn?
It is my turn.
It's your turn, go for it.
And just to even things out here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one.
Okay.
And we have Launch Beer, Pale Ale, 5.7 ABV. It's got an interesting little caricature on it. Someone on a high-rise lift cleaning some
fermentation tank.
Yeah, fermentation tanks out, so looks pretty cool. It's a pale ale this time, so IPA.
Still probably going to be a little on the hazy side, I'm willing to bet.
Still looks a little hazy inside. And Jeff, you can have the first pour.
Sure. You know, one thing I really want to point out is as we're looking at these beers, the artwork is really fantastic.
Yes.
I am really curious to find out who does this for them. It's kind of simple, but kind of not. It's sketch work. It's not paint. It's not, I mean, it doesn't look like digital art. It looks like someone took a pencil and a pad of paper, sketched something out really finely, and then scanned it, and they built it into cans. But it's really cool, and it really showcases the city. It showcases a brewery, and in some cases it kind of showcases the beer. I don't know about this one yet, but I guess we'll find out in a second.
Yep. So, cheers.
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 Ooh. This has definitely got that melony aroma again. There's a fruit, like a stone fruit or a passion fruit in there.
Yeah, definitely some type of fruity, strong fruit, but also a little maybe citrus going on.
It's sweet. It is so sweet. You smell that?
To be honest, all of these smell sweet.
Yeah, but yeah.
He's like, it's so sweet. Like, they're all sweet. None of them smell earthy or piney. They're all some type of melon or fruit.
It's true.
Yeah, they all smell sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see why the lady looked really weird at Jeff when he asked for a New England IPA or a hazy IPA, because honestly, they all look hazy.
Well, here they do.
And she literally just read off the IPA list when he asked, do you have any New England style IPA? She's like, yeah. And she just read off all the IPAs.
One really cool fact about this beer, by the way, launch beer, the reason why they call it launch beer is because this was their debut beer for their brewery.
It was their launch beer.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool story.
Awesome.
All right, so
let's get into this.
let's try it. Oh. That's interesting. This almost tastes like texture-wise and quality-wise, this almost tastes like a IPL, like a lager.
Huh.
Or a Pilsner. An IPP. Hey, you know me. Sorry.
I think that's OPP.
OPP.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and I'm getting that sweetness again. And
I can see the Pilsner taste. It's got like a weedy presence almost.
And it's light and bright.
Yeah.
It's definitely lighter on the malt quality.
Yes.
This does not taste like those hefty 2-row malts that you normally would get in an IPA. God, it's refreshing. Honey. It's honey. Honey is the sweetness I think that I'm getting off this. Like a honeysuckle flower and citrus just together. It's sweet, it's citrusy, it's light, it's bright. Well, I can see why Trillium did so well. This is a killer launch beer. What's the ABV on this thing? 5.7%. Honestly, I don't know. 5.7? You feel like this is a 5.7?
To be honest, the beers have started to blend together as far as ABV. I don't think I can differentiate whether it is or isn't.
I think for me the elevated...
It's light.
Yeah, I feel like for me the elevated body gives it more of a presence of like a 4.5 to 5%. Not that that's a huge difference, but I mean, hey, you go in there, you don't look at the ABV, you drink 4 or 5 of these, and next thing you know, you're drunk. Uh-oh, I did the Boston accent. Don't kill me, guys. You garbage. Just kidding.
For all our Boston viewers, I want to apologize.
I apologize.
On the behalf of Jeff here. He is obviously experiencing some intoxication due to Trillium beers.
It happens.
Alright, so for me, definitely,
Wow, that's good.
Citra hop notes all over the place on this thing.
Yeah.
It's light, it is refreshing, but it is hop heavy. So still got a lot of bitterness going on for it. But that's just because I don't enjoy that, right?
Remember, poor John is not an IPA lover.
No.
And this trooper here is sitting down and drinking basically all IPAs with me.
And so what, I'll be honest, what a lot of the beers remind me of is when I was a kid, I would actually eat orange peels. Okay.
Like actual orange peel?
Mm-hmm. And the bitterness from the orange peel itself, that's what a lot of these beers are reminding me of.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to eat paint chips.
And that is why I am the way I am. And that is why he is the way he is. Just kidding. Okay, so just, you know, the bitterness is there, and so it sits with me, but yeah, it's got a nice citra hops, citrus, sweet. I can't tell if it's like honeysuckle or not. When Jeff was saying that, I was also thinking about my childhood of like walking home from school and the honeysuckles are out there and I could pull one and then pull it and taste on it. I'm not really getting a lot of that per se, but there is a sweet presence going on that is definitely not citrus or fruit or melon.
Think of it this way. It's actually more honey and floral. So I say honeysuckle because it's a flower and the honey kind of flavor, but it is the sugary, super sweet texture, super sweetness of honey.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit of floral. And I say honeysuckle because it's kind of like, for me, a combination of the two. And I'm sure if you remember trying honeysuckle, it was sweet like honey, but also had a flower note to it, if you really think about it, because we were basically sucking that honey out of the flower.
Which is very true, but I'm not getting honeysuckle out of this.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like a sweetness.
All right, on to the next one, yeah?
On to the next one.
All right, John, so it's my turn, and I'm going to say Pasta Dolce on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go with this guy right here. I see a faint hint of a lamp, and yeah, it's Fort Point Pale Ale. This is a 6.6 ABV pale ale, and you know what's really cool is the lamp that is on this is the lamps that we saw while we were crossing the bridge to get to Trillium. I don't know if you noticed that when we were walking. By the way, guys, yesterday is when we picked these beers up, and John and I walked over 10 miles. We did the Freedom Trail in Boston, which was awesome.
Yes,
we saw some great historical landmarks. Drank some good beer. I had a killer New England clam chowder. John had a killer fish and chips.
Oh, the fish was amazing.
It was a great day all around, and the best way to end it was going to Trillium to pick these beers up. And that's where we saw this. So a pale ale, 6.6, so a little bit higher than the last one we tried.
Goody, another pale ale.
Hey, I will tell you guys, they did have some farmhouse ales in bottles there. We're not driving. We've been taking public transport everywhere. I did not feel comfortable carrying around glass bottles.
No.
And I know that they have some stouts and stuff, and unfortunately they didn't have any while we were there. Would have loved to try them, but at the end of the day, I love IPA, so I ain't complaining. But I just feel bad for John here, because I know he would love some variety.
That's okay. Most breweries nowadays just aren't really producing a lot of variety, so.
What John's trying to say is, guys, make some red ales.
Not just red ales, but just can some of your damn beers, man. Like, well.
Yeah, everyone's learning. Cans are the future at this point, so, I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, all right. Ooh, God, I can smell it. Can you smell it? I can smell it.
All right. Ready to go in for the sniff?
Let's sniff it. Sniffing.
Cheers.
Do I have something on my nose?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, God. Guys, this is my beer. I can already tell. The aroma is ridiculous. Citrus, tropical, like, light, bright, just, and it's orange. It looks like like orange juice.
Orange. I wouldn't go as far as say orange juice, but it does look orange.
Maybe like orange and pineapple juice mixed together. Ooh, mango.
Yeah.
Smell mango? I just got mango.
I don't know. Let's see if I can taste mango.
All right, cheers. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Malty. Malty.
There's a good balance going on here.
Very good balance. Not nearly as bitter as some of the ones that we've had previous.
No, not nearly as bitter. Very nice, mellow balance of hops. Sweetness of the malts going on. Beautiful. Like citrus melon blend going. I'm not really sure what like melon I'm picking up or what hop they used in this, but it's beautiful. It is a well balanced pale ale. So what percentage is this?
6.6.
Yeah, this does not taste like a 6.6 either. So I would have given it more like a 5.3 or 5.4 if even that high.
I don't know, man. That malt presence gives it a little weight. I think what you're seeing is that there is a balance, so it feels balanced. and balance makes a beer far more enjoyable, which is, I mean, the ultimate goal. This is beautiful. Mango, pineapple, orange, peach.
A little floral.
A little bit of floral qualities to it as well, yeah. And the cool thing is as we mentioned, it's got a huge malt backbone to it, and it doesn't finish super bitter.
No.
It doesn't kill your palate out. It washes pretty clean. On to the next one.
I think we're gonna finish all these beers.
So before we start the next round, let's go ahead and go cool off in some snow.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you in a bit. Back to drinking. Well, guys, that was a lot of fun. It didn't last very long because it's cold as fuck out there, but
we had some fun in the snow, that's for sure.
Yeah, but now it's back to finishing up these beers. So, who's next? Is it me or you?
To be honest with you, Jeff, I don't know.
It's John's turn. So, John, what beer is next?
I'm gonna go ahead and just, I don't know, balance things out. I'm gonna take the middle.
He's taking the middle, guys.
And what do we have here? Scaled IPA. 7 ABV. 7% ABV. Really cool art on these things.
Yeah, guys. I gotta say, the artwork on these cans is pretty amazing. Oh, I'm excited to try this. Let's do it. Are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and dig into the aroma, shall we?
Pineapple.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting pineapple. A little bit of melon from that El Dorado hops that's in there. A little citrus, but definitely mostly pineapple. I'm definitely getting pineapple off this. Oh, we're drinking. Ooh, that's definitely bitter.
Yep.
Ooh, pithy.
I wouldn't say it's super bitter, but it's definitely got
A bitter kick to it.
a bitter kick to it. It's got a nice pineapple smell, but also taste right on it.
It's got like that dirt, earth kind of tone to it as well.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Starfish from Brewery West, if you guys have ever tried that one before. It's got like that just earthy, like grass, dirt kind of tone to it, but then it's also got that really uplifting tropical tone.
And that slight bitterness on the back end. I mean, it's complex. The flavors are complex. It's more than just a melon, right? It's more than just a citrus. It has
it's all over the
tone
place.
to it, yeah.
It's all over the place. I mean, it's got kind of every quality of hops that you would want in a beer. Man, it lingers though.
It does.
This isn't your driest finish. It's not necessarily like resinous, but that hop stays with you on the tongue.
I agree.
Yeah. This was what, 7% you said?
7%.
7%. Drinks like a 7%. John likes it apparently. And I like it too. That was a good one.
It was a good one.
Well guys, we got 2 left, so here we go. All right, well, down to 2. And I'm gonna take another left beer. I see that hand and I see it cutting tiles. This is Citra Cutting Tiles. It's a double IPA with raw wildflower honey, 8.5%. This is a doozy. If you aren't feeling it yet, John, guess what? You're gonna be feeling it very, very soon. Let me tell you something. Cutting Tiles, they have quite a few variants of this, and apparently they're gonna be adding quite a few more. I believe this is one of their staples. This is one of their most popular beer styles that they do, and raw wildflower honey just sounds incredible. We got a little honey out of a couple of the other beers earlier, and yeah, let's crack her open, shall we?
Let's do it.
God, I love that sound. Go ahead and smell it, John, because I'm already digging into it.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, I can definitely smell the honey.
This is actually very reminiscent of a monkish beer. If you're a monkish fan, which if you've ever had monkish, I'm willing to bet you are a monkish fan. This is probably right up there with the aromas of a monkish beer that you would have. It's soft, it's light, but it's still vibrant. You get that sweetness from the honey, as John said. Definite citrus notes in there. You're really getting that like orange, lemon, tangerine, tangelo, all that fun, just good citrus aroma.
Cheers.
Cheers. Taste time. Oh, yep. That is Citra hops.
All over the place on the citrus. It is, yeah. Tangerine, little orange. Like, it's just all the like orange looking fruit you could think of. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, it's all the orange colored fruit for sure. Mild grapefruit notes, but mostly I'm gonna say like candied tangerine. You know, the difference between a tangerine and orange for me is tangerine is like times 10 orange. Wow. The honey definitely plays a very strong role in this. From what I heard, they added Citra during the whirlpool process on this, and you can really tell the difference. This is not a super bitter beer for a double IPA.
It is not.
It's really taking advantage of the flavors that they added in the beer.
Yeah.
The honey plays really, really well with the malts and the hops. I feel like the honey and the malts really just elevate those hop flavors of citrus, takes that tangerine and pulls it in, and just, it's ripe fruit in your mouth.
Yeah, it's definitely ripe fruit in your mouth. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. It's full on nothing but Citra hops, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, you know, a lot of Citra hops. And so because of that, it gives this beautiful citrus taste throughout. And then the honey just adds to it. Yeah, definitely good. I mean, 8.3, I believe.
8.5.
So an 8.5%.
This is bordering on a triple, guys.
The booziness is like mellow though. It's not.
It's like absinthe.
Yeah.
They really soften this up. I don't know what they added to soften it up, but like I said earlier during the aroma, very reminiscent of a monkish beer. It's not uncommon that you would try a monkish beer that's in the 8 to 10% and you don't taste it. Like, you don't taste how heavy and how strong it is. That is what this beer is.
Absolutely. So while I finish this up, we're gonna get ready for the last one.
We're down to the last one, guys. Well, John, we're down to the last beer. That's right, guys. We made it.
Yeah, we took some breaks in between, but
the snowball fight kind of helped sober us up just a little bit.
yeah.
So that was a much needed break, and it's time to finish this game strong. We are crossing the finish line. So, John, what is our final beer of today?
Our last and final beer is going to be double dry hopped Farnsworth Street IPA 7.2 ABV. This is another beer that is actually named after a street, as we can see here on the map. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and cool fact, we showed up, like I said, yesterday, and that day, yesterday, was the day that they released this beer. I grabbed myself a 4-pack just in case. Thought I'd bring some home to my friends, my fellow beer traders. Andrew, I'm looking at you, brother. And I plan on sharing this with you guys. Hopefully it's awesome. I'm sure it will be, because we've had nothing but awesome beers so far. So let's crack her open.
Let's do it.
Oh, guys. So as soon as I pour this can, I can smell it coming out of the glass. I mean, there is a big difference in double dry hopped beer. And another really cool thing to point out is this is probably the most perfect color for a New England style IPA, in my opinion at least. This is exactly what I want to see. It's bright, it's orange, it's hazy, it's got a beautiful creamy head to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And let's go ahead and dig in on the aroma, yeah?
Cheers.
Oh, guys, there's melon in there, there's pineapple in there, there's mango, there's guava.
I almost get a hint of banana.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of just really unique fruits coming out of this one. And I know all the beers that we tried today basically have fruity characteristics to it. This is literally a day old. Let's see. 3/12, what's today? 3/13. This was literally canned yesterday. They started selling it yesterday, but it was literally canned yesterday.
Yep.
You can get fresher Trillium than what we got right here. You can be jealous now. Sorry. Wow. Wow.
Let's get into that taste.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. Cheers. Oh.
Nice dry finish. I get a lot of
pithy.
Yeah, I get a lot of bitterness right up on the front.
Bitterness on the front, pithy and bitter on the back, but very dry finish, not resinous.
No.
Still sticks with you though. Mm-hmm. It's still there, it's still on the tongue. But the body itself, like once you really get into the beer, whew, man, tons of papaya, pineapple, citrus, like orange, a lot of pineapple. I'm getting more pineapple than anything else, which I ain't mad at. That's probably one of my favorite. Well, I love Galaxy, so I'm sure, but
to be honest, I have a hard time getting any real predominant flavors out of this other than the like bitterness.
Yeah.
So that's a struggle for me with these like hop dominant type beers, is to get past the bitterness for me.
How about the actual body itself though? Because I feel like when you're actually drinking it, it's very pillowy. It's very soft, and then as soon as that drops off, that's where you get like the zesty, like pithy, bitter finish.
So right at the start, you get that like, you know, nice mouthfeel coming through, but honestly, for me, that's very short-lived, and the rest of this beer is just pithy bitterness.
Well,
so
there you go. I like this one. I like this one a lot. I'm really excited to bring this home and share with my friends, and it was definitely a good one to not start on.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that bitterness it's there.
Yeah.
This is not a beer that you want to go to a bar and start with. Well, unless you plan on finishing with it as well. Don't get me wrong. I'd probably be very happy going to Trillium and drinking nothing but this. But if I drank this and then wanted to jump to like a farmhouse ale or stout or a pale ale, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. But good beer.
Yeah,
good beer. So coming up next, we're going to let you know which ones our favorites were. So cheers. Well, guys, John and I completed the 9 beer Trillium challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has done that before, but quite proud of it. We did well. We made it all the way through. Mind you, there is a blizzard outside keeping us from doing anything else. But yeah, we did pretty well. So now it's time to tell you which beers our favorites were. So, John, you want to start?
All right, I'll give it a try. Let's see. I gotta say, I'm not an IPA fan. So the fact that I even made it through these 9 beers is actually quite impressive. Considering
he's a fucking trooper, man. He's a trooper.
Considering only one of these beers was not a pale ale or IPA. So, yeah. And unfortunately, that one beer was not my favorite. What I actually ended up liking in the end out of all of them was Fort Point Pale Ale. Okay. This is a 6.6 ABV. I enjoyed its different like balance of malts and its different complexities of its hops. And so out of all of these beers, I ended up choosing, yes, a pale ale. Choices were pretty thin. But yeah, so that was actually one of my favorite out of these. Now, my personal choice, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more coming out from Trillium. You know, maybe a stout would have been nice. Especially considering there's a blizzard outside. It would have been awesome to have a stout or a porter, something, rich and deep. That would have just made my day today. But that's not what they had. So we ended up getting all their pale ales and IPAs. And Fort Point for me. Jeff, what was your favorite?
Well, guys, John may not be a hazy fan. He may not be a haze bro. He may not be an IPA drinker, but I do have to commend him for trying as many hazy beers as he did today. And on top of that, it's not torture, let's be real. Beer is beer, and beer is fucking delicious. If I had to spend 20 minutes talking to him to try to convince him to pick one that he didn't absolutely hate, then we'd have a problem. But he kind of knew which one he liked. So that tells me Fort Point was a way to go for him. Fort Point was definitely one of the favorites of mine. That saison as well actually was very unique. It was a nice change of pace. I mean, out of 9 pale ales, IPAs, whatever you want to call them, that was really nice. I do kind of wish that we got our hands on one of their stouts at Trillium. The week is not over, so we might pick some up. You might see it on a future beer review episode if we get lucky. But today was the day of the IPA. And when it came to my favorite IPA of the day, or pale ale of the day, I had to go with Citra Cutting Tiles. This was a double IPA. It was 8.5%. Yes, I'm going to take a pause because I just wanted to enjoy it. I've been waiting. And the reason why I picked this one is because it's probably one out of the 8 pale ales that we had that had a really, really solid malt backbone to it. Still was very pillowy, soft. Was not overly bitter, super citrus flavor. This is high drinkability, and at 8.5%, I just sit there and think, mind you, we've had 9 cans of beer, so we're feeling pretty good. But if I went to Trillium and I just wanted to kick back and have a nice little buzz, I could have 2 or 3 of these, and I would probably be having to take the subway home. Or I'd probably be having to take the train home. They just have so many good beers at Trillium. It's been such a treat being able to try them. Guys, I wish I could have taken you to their actual brewery. They have that small tasting room in downtown Boston, but they actually have a brand new facility that's open semi-recently out of town. Unfortunately, they don't allow videotaping there. Maybe one day they'll see this channel and say, never mind, come back, and we'll come back and do an episode there. But really, this whole show is about beer, and that's where it matters. It doesn't matter where you are. For me, more than anything, it matters about drinking good beer with good friends and sharing it with other awesome people. So yes. That's gonna do it for our brewery review in our Air BnB of Trillium Brewing Company. And if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you tried any of the beers that we tried today, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who have. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know what your favorite beer was. Let us know if there's another one that we missed and we should have tried, or there's something that that we don't. I am really fascinated by this brewery. I have a lot of respect for them, and I hope in the future we get to visit them again. And anything you gotta say, John?
No. Just make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, we love the support. It helps us make more episodes like this one. Until next time, we'll see you again on Let's Have Some Beer. Cheers.